Close your eyes and imagine this. You've just touched down in Europe. Your luggage is still circling the baggage claim, and already the air feels different. Maybe it's the mist over the fjords in Oslo, or the scent of espresso drifting through Lisbon's tiled alleyways, or maybe it's the hum of the Berlin U-Bahn beneath your feet. Whatever the vibe, it feels like a new beginning. But soon excitement gives way to math, because once the buzz fades, reality kicks in. Where are you going to live? What's dinner going to cost? And how are you getting around? No matter where you land, three things hit your bank account the hardest: rent, food, transport. These are the big three. The real cost of living, not just the flashy tourist prices, but what you pay to stay. Month after month, year after year. So today we're pulling back the curtain on 10 major cities in Europe ranked from the most expensive to the most budget friendly. Every city on this countdown tells a story. As we journey through these cities, we'll show you the full picture. Not just what things cost, but what kind of life those costs buy. Let's dive in. Zurich, Switzerland. Zurich feels like the future wearing a Swiss watch. Sleek trams glide silently through cobbled streets. The lake gleams like glass. Even the benches look like they've been pressure washed 5 minutes ago. It's not just clean, it's immaculate. But living here, that shine comes with a sting. Rent in Zurich is more than steep, it's alpine. A modest one-bedroom downtown averages $2,300 a month. Move a few tram stops out, and you're still looking at $1,700 or more. These aren't luxury prices for penthouses, this is just standard middle-class housing. Then there's food. Step into a Coop or Migros for your weekly shop. Basic groceries like bread, eggs, veggies, chicken, and coffee, and you'll likely walk out $140, $160 later. Cheese is everywhere, but ironically, it's not cheap. You're in the cheese capital, paying luxury prices for dairy basics. Transport, though, is where Zurich shines. For about $90 a month, you get pristine, hyper-punctual public transit, trams, buses, and trains that connect the city like veins. You'll never wait more than 5 minutes, but if you're thinking of hailing a cab, think again. A short 5-kilometer ride can cost 25 or more. But here's the tension. Zurich offers predictability and peace, but only to those who can afford it. For many expats and younger travelers, Zurich is that city you visit, admire, and quietly say, maybe one day. Tyne, Oslo, Norway. Oslo is the kind of city where nature is never more than 20 minutes away. A morning commute might take you past frozen fjords, and weekends often start with a hike and end in a sauna. It's clean, calm, and deeply connected to the outdoors. But don't let the tranquility fool you. Oslo quietly drains your bank account. Rent downtown averages about $900 for a one-bedroom. Head to the suburbs and it drops to about $1,500, but supply is limited and demand is steady, especially among expats and remote workers. Apartments are typically compact but modern, with underfloor heating and triple glazed windows made to survive Arctic winters. Groceries are where the real surprise hits. Norway taxes everything: meat, dairy, wine, even chocolate. A standard weekly grocery run can easily climb to $130, $140, and forget about imported goods unless you're ready to splurge. A simple dinner of pasta, sauce, and salad might cost you double what it would in Berlin or Madrid. Transport is efficient and reliable, but also priced accordingly. A monthly pass runs $85, giving you access to buses, trams, metro, and even ferries that crisscross the Oslo fjord. The system is smooth and eco-friendly, but if you're thinking of taking a taxi, think again. A short ride will set you back $20, $30 without traffic. Living in Oslo is like living inside a minimalist IKEA showroom. Everything functions beautifully, but nothing is cheap. Even a casual Friday beer can feel like an investment, with pints hovering around $10, $12 at local bars. Just be ready to pay a premium for that piece. Right, Dublin, Ireland. Dublin is warm, witty, and constantly moving. Cobblestone streets lead to buzzing pubs where the laughter is loud and the Guinness flows like water. It's a city full of charm, but when it comes to cost of living, the luck of the Irish won't save you. Rent is the biggest beast here. A one-bedroom in the city center runs around $2,000 a month, and that's if you can find one. The tech boom brought major demand, and housing has never quite kept up. Even in the suburbs, expect to pay $1,600 or more for a basic flat. And bidding wars completely normal. Groceries are manageable, $1 a week if you stick to Lidl or Aldi, but shop at local stores or Tesco and watch the bill rise fast. A chicken fillet roll might still be the unofficial national dish, but stocking your fridge feels more like a mid-tier expense than a budget win. Transport is a mixed bag. Dublin's public system isn't bad. Buses, trams, the Luas, and trains connect most of the city. But the monthly pass costs a stiff $120, and delays are frequent. Taxi rides for short hops? Around $15 or $20, assuming you can actually find one on a rainy Saturday night. There's a love-hate relationship with the city's affordability. On one hand, Dublin offers tech jobs, social energy, and walkability. On the other, housing is scarce, salaries can feel stretched, and a night out can leave your bank account hurting. Recette, Paris, France. Paris is beauty and contradiction rolled into one. One moment you're sipping coffee on a sunlit terrace, the next you're jolted by the metro screeching to a stop. It's cinematic, chaotic, and yes, still expensive. Rent in Paris averages around what's $800 for a one bedroom in the city center. And we're talking compact. Tiny kitchens, creaky elevators, maybe a view of someone else's laundry. Move to the outskirts and you'll still pay around $1,300, often for more space but longer commutes. Parisian apartments have charm, but you pay for every inch. Groceries are surprisingly reasonable if you know where to look. Weekly essentials land around $90 $100, especially if you shop at outdoor markets. A warm baguette for $1, still real. Fresh produce, cheap wine, and corner shops filled with cheese. Paris rewards the budget conscious foodie. Transport is one of the city's strengths. A monthly Navigo pass is just $85, giving you full access to metro, bus, and RER lines. Sure, it's crowded, but it's reliable. A quick taxi ride, around $15 more if it's raining or you're crossing town at night. Paris lives in contrast. The rent stings, but your weekend might include the Louvre, the Latin Quarter, or a quiet walk along the Seine. It's a city where you feel like you're getting value, even when your bank account disagrees. And for many, that rhythm, the culture, the art, the everyday elegance is worth every euro. Number 6, Berlin, Germany. Berlin feels like a living contradiction, in the best way. It's gritty but creative, chaotic but chill. You can have brunch in a former power plant, catch an underground techno show at 2 a.m., and still spend less than in most Western capitals. Rent is where Berlin surprises people. A one bedroom downtown averages around $1,400, while in outer neighborhoods it drops to $1,000. Rent caps and tenant protections help keep things from spiraling out of control, though finding an apartment is half art, half full time job. Groceries are reasonable. Stick to Aldi, Lidl, or Penny, and you can get through the week on $80 $100. Berliners are big on bio, organic, and if that's your vibe, you'll pay more. But even then, it won't bankrupt you. Street food helps too. Currywurst and doner kebabs for just a few euros keep you fueled without draining your wallet. Transport is a standout. Germany's $49 nationwide pass covers buses, trams, metros, and even regional trains across the whole country. It's one of Europe's best deals. Taxi rides inside the city, around $15, unless traffic makes it more of a gamble. What makes Berlin shine is not just affordability, it's freedom. You can dress however you want, speak whatever language, chase whatever dream. Artists, coders, students, and wanderers all find a place here. If you're looking for a city that stretches your mind without stretching your budget, Berlin might just be your sweet spot. 5. Madrid, Spain. Madrid is the golden hour in city form. Sun washed plazas, late night laughter, and a lifestyle that's built around enjoying life, not rushing through it. And surprisingly, you can live well here without emptying your wallet. Rent averages around $1,300 in the city center and $950 $1,000 in surrounding neighborhoods. For that, you'll often get a decent sized flat with balconies, high ceilings, and actual living space, rare luxuries in most capitals. While housing prices have risen, Madrid still feels reasonable, especially compared to Northern Europe. Groceries are refreshingly affordable. Weekly basics, olive oil, veggies, meats, coffee cost about $75 $90. Outdoor markets offer fresh produce at unbeatable prices, and wine is so cheap you'll question reality. Think decent bottles for under $5. Transport is another win. A full access monthly metro pass is just $60 and it covers one of the cleanest, most efficient metro systems in Europe. Taxis? Around $10 $12 for a short ride, and Uber is an easy backup. But Madrid's real value is lifestyle per euro. Here, life doesn't revolve around work. Meals stretch into hours. Parks are full at sunset. A late dinner on a terrace, tapas with friends, a café con leche in the morning sun. It's not a special occasion, it's just how people live. Madrid proves that you don't have to spend a fortune to feel like you're living richly. 4. Lisbon, Portugal. Lisbon is all about texture, sunlight bouncing off mosaic tiles, sea breeze rolling in from the Atlantic, and trams rattling uphill through ancient neighborhoods. It's romantic, relaxed, and still, just barely, affordable. But the clock is ticking. Rent has surged in recent years. A one bedroom downtown now averages $1,600 a month, thanks to the wave of digital nomads and Airbnb conversions. Even on the outskirts, you're looking at $100 $200 for modest spaces. Locals feel the squeeze hardest, often forced further out or into shared housing. Groceries are more forgiving. Weekly shopping can run $75 $85, especially if you hit up the local mercados instead of chain supermarkets. Fresh seafood, bread, produce, and local wine are all high quality and surprisingly cheap. Eating well here is easy, even on a budget. Transport is a breeze. For $45 a month, you get full access to buses, trams, subways, and even ferries. The system may not be spotless or hyper efficient, but it works. Taxis or ride shares for short trips run around $10, sometimes less if you avoid tourist zones. Lisbon's rhythm is different. Mornings are slow, lunch breaks are sacred, dinner rarely starts before 9 p.m. And while the cost of living is rising, the pace of life remains delightfully grounded. Still, there's something about Lisbon that hooks you. The views, the food, the light. It's a city with soul, and for now, still a rare blend of beauty, culture, and relative affordability. Zurich, Budapest, Hungary. Budapest is where grandeur meets grit. Stroll along the Danube, and you'll see Baroque palaces, thermal bathhouses, and bridges that light up like chandeliers at night. It feels like a capital city from a past empire, with prices that seem stuck in the past too. Rent is one of Budapest's biggest draws. A one bedroom in the city center costs around 950 euros, while just a few metro stops out, it drops to $700 or even less. And you're still close to cafes, nightlife, and that iconic skyline. The housing stock can be older, but the value is undeniable. Groceries are shockingly affordable. A typical weekly basket, meats, produce, bread, milk, snacks, comes in around $60-$70. Farmers markets are everywhere, and meals at home stretch your budget with room to spare. Eating out isn't bad either. A solid restaurant meal might run you $10-$12. Transport is clean, fast, and cheap. For just 30 a month, you get full access to metro, trams, buses, and trolley lines. A taxi across town? Roughly $8, making spontaneous nights out less of a financial commitment. What Budapest delivers is a complete lifestyle on a budget. You get walkability, culture, nightlife, and history without needing a six-figure salary. Thermal baths cost 12 to 15 for a full day. Outdoor ruin bars fill every weekend. And the architecture makes everyday errands feel like a movie set. There are trade-offs. Local wages are low, and bureaucracy can be a headache. But for expats, students, or remote workers, it's hard to beat. Dwa Krakow, Poland. Krakow is small enough to feel cozy, but rich enough to feel important. Its medieval core is postcard perfect, its nightlife is electric, and its prices? Still some of the lowest in the European Union. Rent is where Krakow really shines. A one bedroom in the heart of the old town goes for around $850, while quieter residential areas dip to $650. These aren't micro apartments either. Many places come with solid space, balconies, and old world charm. Groceries are a breeze. Weekly shopping comes in around $55-$70, especially if you hit up Biedronka or local markets. You can fill your cart with pierogi, fresh veggies, meats, and staples without feeling the pinch. Even dining out is a deal. A full meal with drinks can cost under 15, and a good coffee is often less than $2. Transport is efficient and dirt cheap. A monthly pass runs about $25, giving you full access to trams and buses across the city. They're not luxurious, but they're reliable. Taxis are affordable too. $6 to $8 will take you across town. Krakow's biggest win is its balance. It's walkable, historic, and full of students and travelers. The atmosphere is youthful without being rowdy, and the cost of living lets you live comfortably, even on a modest income. You won't find the flash of Paris or the chaos of Berlin, but what you do get is stability, affordability, and culture at every turn. It's a city that feels grounded, where life isn't about hustle, it's about ease. Sofia, Bulgaria. Sofia isn't polished, it doesn't pretend to be, but that's exactly what makes it Europe's affordability champion. It's rough around the edges, packed with character, and unbelievably kind to your bank account. Rent is almost shocking. A one bedroom in the city center costs just $650, while in outer districts, it can drop to $450-$500. Yes, you read that right. Groceries are equally forgiving. Weekly basics bread, cheese, eggs, meat, fresh produce come in around $55, $60. And this isn't bottom shelf quality. Bulgaria is known for its dairy, and a block of local white cheese will cost you just a few bucks. Dining out is borderline absurd. Full meals for $6 to $10 and a beer for less than $2. Transport is simple and affordable. A monthly pass is just $25, covering buses, trams, and the metro. Taxis, around $5-$6 for most city rides. It's not the fastest or sleekest system, but it gets the job done, and for a fraction of what you'd pay elsewhere. Sofia offers what most cities can't: a real chance to live well on a small budget. It's not flashy, but it's functional. There's beauty in its mess: Soviet-era blocks beside Orthodox cathedrals, mountain views from public parks, and locals who know how to stretch every level. It's a city where freelancers, students, and remote workers come to reset, to spend less, stress less, and build something new. If Zurich is the Swiss watch, Sofia is the honest pocket knife, simple, reliable, and always within reach. So there you have it: 10 cities across Europe, each with its own personality, rhythm, and price tag. From the pristine luxury of Zurich to the no-frills freedom of Sofia, the range is dramatic. Still, every city had something to offer. Let us know in the comments: would you rather live expensive and polished or affordable and raw? And if this deep dive helped you see things differently, hit that like button, subscribe for more real-world travel breakdowns, and share this with someone planning their European escape.